Hey guys, today is going to be a repair video on these 6600 AMD graphics cards from Gigabyte. Well, as you can see, I got two of these, and the reason why are these fans have died on these particular GPUs. Obviously, previous videos do mention about fan qualities on some of these fans from Gigabyte RMSI. So one of the things purchasing a more budget-oriented graphics card is the fact that they're kind of, lackluster on the quality. And I think during this particular generation of graphics cards, I think Gigabyte has really dropped the ball on the quality, especially on the cooling side of their cards, because I have seen not only the 6600 from AMDs are dying from, well, not dying, but the card's working fine, but the fan has died. And not only that, their RTX 3060s also has pretty bad fans. And I don't have any of their high-end particular graphics cards. I don't know the quality on those, but from what I see on these particular fans, they're just pretty bad. I hope the new 50 series from Gigabyte, I know they're gonna come with the price tag, and I hope that they'll revamp these very, very bad fans, like get quality fans on these, because they don't really, I mean, these are about 3 years old, and I don't know if previous owner had mind them or what, but they seems to be just they're pretty clean, but the fans are just not there anymore, and they're just toasted. So I bought these off that particular person, and because they were on a pretty good deal, and I bought new fans for these on AliExpress because they're cheaper. The branding on these are ParLogic. Not really sure how good these fans are, but they do come with fan splitters and fan extensions. I hope these will fit. I actually never personally done one of these cards before. Previously I have done on the 3070 Ti. Now, the previous cards I have done, replacing the fans aren't exactly like broken. They're just making a little bit of ticking noise or hushing noise. They're just kind of not in the greatest operating sort of shape, I guess. But these ones they just don't spin anymore. They will either be like doing this, or they just straight up wobble like that one. See that? Let me show you guys. See how this fan is just it's not even there anymore. It's gone. It's a goner. Now I did bought these from two separate orders. I wasn't sure how bad the condition of this one is, but this is pretty bad too. So these ones, they're really, really bad. Yeah, I just kind of hope I'll do a little tutorial on this, and hopefully Gigabyte is watching this. They can definitely think about, I mean, it's probably too late now for the 50 series, but hey, maybe one day they'll pick up on their fan quality. Let me show you one of the 3060s I picked up lately. It's also making noise, but it's not as bad as these ones. Like these 3060s are just, you know, their fan still spins like a champ. The only time these 3060s will actually trigger themselves are like actually like trying to spin up. Like the initial spin will make a little bit of noise. But we'll replace this one later. But today we're gonna do this. So like every other time, I would actually try to remove the shroud. If for some reason the shroud can be removed, then I'll remove the heatsink from these cards. I've been talking too much, and I will start exploring how to disassemble the fans. So like always, I will pop these fans out first by just going with the screws, right? And to be honest, if you guys don't want to watch this, just kind of go ahead and skip to the end. But before you do that, make sure you guys press the like button, subscribe, and comment on video what I need to be doing on next on topic wise. I know my quality is not there. I'm just beginning to making YouTube videos. I'm not exactly one of the best video editor out there. Maybe at some point, you know, if I grow big enough, I can hire somebody or at least get some time to learn how to video edit. Then I can definitely grow my channel that way. And as you guys are wonder, I am a little bit camera shy, and also because what I do for work, I don't want people to see my face. Yeah, so hope you guys enjoy this video. Kind of just, you know, dive into it. Let me zoom that in for you guys. Just get a better look. Yeah, I mean, typically these fan replacements are not crazy hard. It's just you just have to make sure these particular fan replacement, you just have to find some of the screws that's hidden or kind of preventing the shroud to come out. And typically you don't have to replace the heatsink unless you really want to replace the thermal paste. And these like coolers or heatsinks are not that bad. They're pretty good for, you know, for this particular card. But the only thing I have on this is the fact that it just feels cheap, you know, the build quality. Beyond that, I mean, it's not by any means a bad graphics card. Maybe I should hide this, but it's already the warranty has already expired anyway, so really it's not a big deal if the serial number gets leaked out the internet or anything like that. And oh, there goes my cat crying in the background. And we're gonna see if the shell can come out without actually me taking everything apart. Well, it looks like I might have to, just because I see there's a screw down in there that's holding the shroud. I might have to pop these. Okay. Well, there goes the voice sticker. And these cards are not exactly that hard to take apart. They're you do have to remember where you put all the screws, because there's right now so far 3 types of screws I have to kind of put aside. They're different. So these ones are for the fans. These ones are for the back end, so I'm gonna leave on my far right. These two are in the far left end. And still the shroud can't open just because how is it situated? So I have to pop them all open, which is fine. We'll probably do a thermal paste replacement while we're at it. And yeah, it's not that hard. We'll put these aside. I'll put these aside and pop this. One thing you guys do want to be careful when you guys are taking these cards apart is the thermal pads. Sometimes these thermal pads will actually tear apart. So when you are actually removing these things, just kind of be careful about thermal pads. So why is this jammed in there? Is there a screw or something I need to be aware of? Okay, that's open. That's kind of, it doesn't want to move. Okay, so, well, this backplate is actually, it doesn't want to come off because of, it's actually, some of the screws are screwed in this way. So you can't really take the backplate off. What you could do is you could actually pop the heatsink off now. So I'm gonna wiggle down a little bit, make sure the thermal pads are good. But in this case, this one ripped a little bit, but make sure you don't disturb these pads. So when you do put it back on, like these RAM chips, they do generate quite a bit of heat, but not that much heat that if you know, the little bit of you know, thermal paste will the broken thermal pads will actually affect its cooling performance, just because these cars just doesn't generate that much of a heat. If you are actually replacing on a high-end AMD and NVIDIA graphics cards, they then you have to kind of be careful with these thermal pads, because of the cooling on these memory chips actually matters a lot. Not only they will overheat, they'll degrade the performance of your card if you don't actually put back properly. Let me grab paper towel. A little bit of isopropyl alcohol. I'm sorry that the camera wasn't actually focusing, or I wasn't lining up the my camera in the middle here. But yeah, so thermal paste replacement, we're gonna be using the MX4s to replace the thermal paste, and they're quite reasonable priced, these thermal pastes, and you could probably get it anywhere in the world. Amazon, local computer stores. I'm pretty sure you can find them all. Now, there are sites out there. If you did destroy all of these thermal pads, let's say for some reason, and you had to replace these, there is a site out there. I forgot what it's called, but you can look it up. What sort of thickness of a pad you could buy, and then you can buy them and cut them to size to replace. Now, in my case, I'm not planning to replace these pads because I don't think it's necessary. All I'm gonna do is replace the thermal paste, and just let you know the little bit of thermal paste gunk on the side, and really shouldn't matter as part of your cleaning. But if you do feel like cleaning it out, make sure you do it gently, because there are a little bit of resistors and capacitors sits on the side of this particular chip that if you do damage these little components, you're gonna end up having a dead card. So with that said, I don't need to take out the back plate. You see how these screws here, there, and 3 screws, I think. 1, 2, yeah, looks like 3 screws. There's 1, 2, 3 screws. It's holding down this little bit of plastic, but really we don't need to care about this particular plastic bit. We don't really need to take it apart. What I do need to take apart is these 4 screws that sits on the side here. And they're also a different type of screw, so make sure you keep them separately. Kind of remember where everything goes. And this card is not that bad because it doesn't come with that many screws, but it just comes with many type of screws, which is annoying. Once you got that, you should be able to pop the heatsink off. So this heatsink can actually go on the side here somewhere. And these ones, if you got the time, you could rinse these, but be careful with the pads if you do have pads on there, because if these ever touches water, they kind of like separates a little bit. So I'm not gonna wash this because it doesn't look that bad. But if you do decide to wash them a little bit and just give it a good clean, it would be up to you. So yeah, I'm gonna leave that alone. I mean, the cooling design definitely adequate for this particular chip. I just don't like the fact that it's just feels cheap on your hands, you know what I mean? So one of these things is that you have to kind of remember how these fans are laid out. So what you do is you kind of follow its kind of layout. See how it's being, you put that, so you want that particular tube plug in over there, and that flip over here. So this layout is actually really bad, because the previous graphics cards I've replaced with their fans, what they do have is that they have individual headers for you to kind of put it in. And I assume so they could kind of go out like this. Yeah. And these replacement fans actually have longer cables, which is kind of nice, because last time when I have these fans replaced, not these fans, but like the other type of fans I got for the 3090 Ti, they were just a little bit short, and they're just not that good. But then again, it's I was able to manage to so let me zoom out a little bit, maybe you guys can see. So I had them lay out like this, right? Just kind of follows the orientation of the original setup, and kind of lay them out. And what I need to do now is pull these headers. This is actually the hardest part of the entire process, pull this thing out, because sometimes you end up damaging the actual female ends of the socket. Actually, no, I wouldn't say female, it's actually male. Whatever, it's the PCB end of the socket. And actually, so the plastic bits actually pops off along with your connector. Sometimes you end up breaking it too. So that's why I don't like Gigabyte fans, because they're just so hard to maintenance. And it can't come off. It's really annoying. It's the fact that I don't. I think you might need to get a little plier. So this is the hardest part of the entire process, to be honest, to actually take out this connector, this particular one. Let me show you. So if you zoom in, so see this fan header right there? That is the hardest part of the entire process, is to pop that off, because there's no clip or anything. It's friction fitted. There are a little bit of little tabs kind of sits in there. You might want to like press, but you got to get a small enough tool to actually get there to press it. So, and if you actually force this open, you can end up taking whatever the not only the I guess the male ends of this, but whatever that's holding this. I'm going to show you this guy here. Yeah, whatever that's holding this component will also come with it, right? So let me zoom out. Let me grab a plier. Let me grab a plier. Sometimes you're just not prepared for this type of hiccup. Maybe I'll use the bit instead, try to poke that. So honestly, by this time I should be already assembling the card, and yet I'm still struggling to take out this connector, which is really annoying. I don't want to put too much force, because what happens is that if you put too much force, you might end up damaging components on the side. Okay, let's do it the other way. Let's do it this way. Hopefully, go down a little bit. So I have actually broken these tabs before, which is not a big deal. You can always, so you get that. Just have to pry it open, I suppose. Once you have it open just a little bit, God, this is actually really annoying. Hopefully the camera focus. I'll zoom in a little bit more. All right. See how you got that open just a tiny bit now? You get your little screwdriver and just kind of twist, pull the thing just a tiny bit. And I mean, if you don't have proper tools to do these, I think this is probably the easy way to pop it open. And without, see, this plastic bit is already loose, like kind of pulled up a little bit. You can, if it focused properly, let me put down the tool. If it's focused properly, you could just kind of press down. Hope you guys hear that sound, but it is now popped back in. Okay, so we have taken it apart now. What we want to do is actually, let me zoom out, pop it back to where it was kind of oriented, and we're gonna replace the fan. So that fan kind of goes that way, so this will flip this way, right? It kind of goes in there, and then we'll put these fans oriented this way a little bit, and we'll go ahead and pop these ones out. So I think maybe do the far one first. Man, these Gigabyte cards, they're built flimsy, but they're feels like they're really over-engineered for some reason. At least in terms like cable manage and stuff like that. It's like, why do you need clips on everything? Like, why? You don't need a clip here. You don't need a plastic clip there. They're just, yeah, they're great for cable manage, but like really your cables aren't gonna move anywhere other than just, you know, sit there. Why would you need clips for these? I mean, the EVGA cards do have a lot of clips too, but they're metal. They're on the actual heat sinks themselves, and you can bend them a little bit if you have to. But these ones are plastic, so if you are not careful, you're gonna breaking these tabs. They're really annoying. So I'm not gonna continue to do the other one on camera. I think you guys all get the idea how to take the fans out of these things, and they're just a pain. They are a pain. And not only that, you see these fans, we have to disconnect these two. So every single one of these connectors is going to be a pain to deal with. I kind of have to pry every single one open. I'll get that open. great. Love the magnetic screwdrivers, but sometimes they just get you sometimes, you know, having all your screws come with your screwdriver. I mean, when you accidentally get too close to it. Man, I was working on that like EVGA 3090 Ti. Man, so easy to replace. So easy to replace the fans. Like, it's almost like they kind of knew that, you know, somebody's gonna end up replacing the fans at some point on those cards. But I mean, I still have a little bit beef with EVGA, honest, because I do have a dead 3090. You know, before I started this YouTube channel, that they were unwilling to RMA. It's a long story, but I don't want to talk about it. But overall, I do still like EVGA as a brand. You know, but I think because they're no longer making GPUs by the time I was trying to RMA my 3090, and I was and to be honest, I was dumb enough to buy their 10-year warranty, and they no longer honor that when I showed them the damage on the 3090, and that is fine. I probably I blame myself and I blame them half and half, I suppose, just because I don't know exactly what happened to my card. But with that said, because they're only US based in terms of like servicing for North America, shipping has become a huge issue with the EVGA when I was dealing with their RMA, and every time when I have to do something, and for some reason every time, you know, the shipping was free, but I have to pay like duties and taxes for something that, you know, I already paid for. You know what I mean? Like, if you understand import and export in your country, most of things is like, if you have sent out things for repair, for example, you're not supposed to pay duties and taxes on repairs, because you had already purchased that initially with the product. Now, if you know, that's typically what it is, right? You have to kind of read into details about your import-export law, but I believe in Canada anyways, is that if you have any sort of additional work done on a particular product, so for example, let's say you shipped over, I don't know, a graphics card to somebody in the United States, and they paint it and add value to it and modified it and make it pretty and nice looking, and then all of a sudden, you know, your graphics card was worth, let's say, $500, now worth, you know, $5,000 for some reason, because it's now like a special edition or something like that. Then you basically pay, as far as I understand, I'm not exactly, I haven't, you know, I was in the what do you call it, shipping industry for a little bit. I kind of know something and I kind of forget something, so I could be wrong on this. But as far as I understand, is that you only pay the difference of what you have paid on the product and what the additional value is. So in this case, you know, pay, for example, you know, $500 for the original product, and then, you know, you put another $4,500 to make it nice and pretty, well, you only pay the duties and taxes on it $4,500, but you do have to, you know, have like records of how much you actually paid for, right? You can't just verbally tell somebody, hey, I pay this. But with that said, EVGA, when they do these things, they don't do the shipping label, or at least they don't do their export or declaration properly on, you know, when they were shipping product back to Canadian customers. So Canadian customers are actually getting another retail duties and taxes on their products. So they basically pay the taxes twice for the same product, which is kind of really upsetting in my opinion. And not only that, when I was dealing with him, well, dealing with the 3090 issue, they also did a cost on delivery on my end. So, you know, I originally pay for the shipping to get that card to the United States. Typically, when you RMA something to any of the manufacturers, they'll ship the product back to you for free, right? Right. That's, as far as I understand, that's part of the warranty agreement. Well, in my case is that they COD the product back to me, and I have to pay the shipping, the duties, and the taxes on the product, which at the time it was declared for $100, which is not much, but it was really annoying because it was for a fact that this item was already dead. It's worthless to me. Like, at very minimum declared to be like $1, you know what I mean? Like, why am I paying like additional $20 of taxes and duties on a product that they haven't even repaired, and they just literally just ship it back to me to say, oh yeah, your warranty is declined. You know what I mean? Like, it's really upsetting to hear EVGA telling me that, oh yeah, by the way, we're gonna screw you more, type of a scenario. But anyways, EVGA no longer make credit graphics cards, so I guess that's a good thing. I really enjoyed their products throughout the years, because I have I don't know what I have. I have a old GTX 465, which I don't know where I put it. Anyways, I'll make a video on that card. One thing about that card is interesting is the fact that during the time when I purchased that original EVGA product, which I'm still a fan, I just don't like to deal with their customer service. I like their product, but not their customer service. It's the fact that it actually at that time offers lifetime warranty. I will be making a video on that at some point. But I'm just really unfortunate they no longer provide decent warranty anymore. You know how they used to go be like, oh yeah, we're water cooling friendly, no matter what you do with your credit card, I mean, sorry, not credit card, graphics card, we're gonna warranty it. We're great on that. We're awesome. No, that's a lie, to be honest. It's definitely one of those things they'll tell the YouTubers, like people like Jace2Sans, Linus, you know, that, oh yeah, we're definitely modder friendly type of company. No, when you actually start modeling their product and you run into issues, they'll just leave you behind, to be honest. They're still a company to make profits. They're not there, you know, like I understand they're in the business of making money, right? They're not there to make charity. You know, like as far as I have to you know, deal with a lot of companies for the RMA, and I personally never really had too many issues. And under the same note, I had a motherboard that was actually kind of damaged beyond repair with Asus, and they actually honor that particular warranty due to the fact that it might or may not even be a fault of their product. It could be the fault of the power supply or anything else, right? It's not due a fault of their particular product. But when I mentioned you know, how damaged it was, and I don't know what causes it, they gracefully RMA that particular product, which I'm, you know, at this point still pretty surprised they actually did it for me. But yeah, and I also have pretty good experience with Gigabyte RMA and MSI RMA, at least in Canada anyways. It just feels like they, you know, they actually, I wouldn't put that word too deeply, but they kind of care about their customer, at least return customers. And I don't feel like that with EVGA anymore. Just not only because they stopped making, you know, graphics cards, but they're also kind of you know, left modders and real gamers behind. I think it's kind of unfortunate. I know a lot of companies now have bad reps in terms of like their customer service or RMA request. I'm pretty sure, you know, GamerNest has covered a lot of Asus proms. I personally never had issues with Asus. I'm pretty sure it's also region specific. So you might have a good regional rep in, you know, in your country, but at least in where Gamers Nexus had to deal with, it wasn't a great experience with them. So at least in Canada, what I feel like is that so far, you know, MSI, Gigabyte, and Asus, they're pretty decent on their RMA side of things, or at least the customer service side of things. I don't know, never had issues. Let's just say that. Never had to fight with them. You know what I mean? Like, never had to fight tooth and nail to get your product, you know, repaired. You know, I think that's where it kind of lies with a lot of things. Is the fact that, like, you never wish your product to like the stuff you buy to die, but you always buy them based on the assumption it will die at some point, and hopefully, you know, when you do have to RMA a particular product, that the company is there to back, you know, to save you. You know what I mean? They're kind of the savior in this particular case, and I just think sometimes companies will drop the ball because of, you know, regional managers, reps that just think they own the company, You know, like they talk like they're the boss, but yet, you know, they're not. Like every request go through some of the reps. I have to, you know, like I'm not even talking about like tech companies nowadays. I'm just talking about normal regular, like, I don't know, just one of those normal consumer you know, customer service. Doesn't matter what company or where you have to deal with. It almost feels like these reps think they own the company, and all of a sudden you try to request something. It's like, you know, like none of this is your money, right? Like if you just press this up and just kind of, you know, approve this particular repair, you're not gonna go bankrupt. But then again, I mean, they maybe the managers were telling their reps to be like, hey, you guys aren't like here are, you know, percentage of denial you guys have to do. You guys are approving too many, you know, RMAs. I'm just guessing at this point, but I'm just saying, like, it's a good possibility managers out there will just tell their, you know, customer service stuff that would be very anti-consumer. Because, you know, too many RMA requests or too many return products, too many of this and too many of that, too many things, you know, have you know, damaged the company's bottom line. So let's go back to repairing this particular graphics card. Okay, I have put in all the fans. You see me to fiddle with these cable a little bit. You want to kind of have them tucked in a little bit. So so in this case, I have tucked them just tight enough to kind of sit behind this cooler, and it's not snagging on anything or it's not getting caught anywhere. So once you have that kind of lined up now, you could actually put the screws back on, and then we just do everything in reverse. Yeah, so kind of going back on like RMAs and warranties and customer service. See, I don't know what to say. Like, you guys all heard the story of Costco, right? That people have buy things like years before, and then they're like, oh yeah, return it, I don't want it. And guess what? Costco will just return it for them. No questions asked. I mean, why don't other companies do this? I guess their profit margin is very small, or like not enough to like take a loss on some of these products, I suppose. But you know, Costco has been doing it like right, you know what I mean, for at least, you know, customer service side of things, or customer satisfaction side of things. One trick about thermal paste on your finger. You already have a little bit isopropyl alcohol, because if you try to get water to kind of get rid of that, it's actually pretty hard. Quick, easy way, just use isopropyl alcohol. Get a little rub. Boom, gone. Now it's on the paper. So there we go. All right. So I put a dab, a little tack of thermal compound onto this chip. I'm gonna do my best to align this so I'm not really like smushing. I think the best way to do is upside down like this. what you can do is you line up the 4 holes over here with the bottom 4 holes. Make sure it's going at least as straight as possible, because this way, remember how we tear the thermal pads? The thermal pads will actually go back in to its, at least close to its original location. Now what you do is you get the first screw in there, just kind of make sure it's just kind of latch onto the card. You don't need to tighten all the way. All right. We'll close that, give that a little smush. And we'll tighten everything down. So give it a nice little torque at the very end to make sure it's, you didn't, screw up. Now we're just missing the last couple of screws. Remember how we put these ones on this side, these ones over here, and we'll just go like so. Alright, I am gonna be doing some tests. So I just started this YouTube channel. The reason I bought these because I want to have these cards benchmarked on part of my so-called daily collection setup. I figured they're quite cheap to get to, and then maybe I can make a flip or a little bit of profit out of these things after when I repair the fans. So this one, it is done. So, and also, if you look at this, these are 2 branded fans out there. Anyways, I'm done with this one. I think I want to keep talking, just to chit chat, I suppose. I mean, I'm talking to myself, but I'm pretty bored doing this. And if you have actually lasted this long, and you're enjoying my, blobby of a blob, and, just talking things, make sure you press a like, comment how far you have gone through this video, and if you said the whole thing, I definitely will give you a thumbs up. Yeah, I mean, a lot of things to talk about. So I don't know, I haven't bought a lot of new tech products recently, other than the motherboard and the CPU and some of the SSDs. I figure I should, if I want to start this particular YouTube channel, I should at least have some of the latest products, or at least I think I should be having some of the products kind of will draw people's attention and give people some interest watching. But I'm so fortunate that I'm actually just mostly camera shy, to be honest. Like, I'm pretty sure I'm okay to show my face even due to my job. But then again, I don't want to get myself into trouble sometimes. Because we have a union and things will, I don't know how exactly union work because I just got into this particular job position. So yeah. So did I forget anything? No, I didn't. The only thing I didn't take out these ones, but that should be enough to pop open the cooler, and let's see how the thermal pads last or stick onto this particular one. Are they pain to do? Oh yeah, they also ripped a little bit. It's not too bad. I think these original fans are just very, very bad. What are these original fans anyways? What are these? They are the Apistec, okay. Mono GA81S2U. Oop, blurry. Come on, focus. I'm sorry about that. Can you focus now? It's probably because of my lighting. There we go. That's the product number. Yeah, whatever this brand is, yeah, don't get it. It's horrible. This is the wobble fan. Can I pop it out? Can I pop it out? Can almost pop it out. Still give you quite a bit of friction. Yeah, I don't really care, but right now I just don't want to cut my hand open because these plastics might shatter. But yeah, these fans are horrible. So let's go back and do the same little trick to pry this thing open. So, oh, wrong screw bit. Where is the other bit? I kind of wish that Linus would just give me, or at least send me their precision screwdriver. As you can tell, I'm a Linus fan, kind of. I follow him, ever since when I was in college, high school. I'm the same age as Linus. I'm a little bit jealous of his success because when I first started watching his video, he was working for an NCX, and at the time I really wasn't sure what I was doing. I was really confused how I can, what job or what I wanted to do. I end up, getting into tech eventually, but not really because his influence, but more just because I found myself, watching his YouTube or watching tech channels like Jay's 2 Cents. I was kind of, liking that idea. And I'm an electronic technician by trade, but right now what I do is networking related stuff, IT stuff, some IT stuff. Another trick of cleaning your desk, because I just noticed the desk is pretty dirty. We keep getting sidetracked, but it's okay. If you guys enjoy me talk, just keep watching. But if you guys just think my voice is annoying, you've gone through the video where I repaired the first graphics card, and you guys are welcome to kind of just, you know, close that YouTube window now, or go to the next channel where Linus will talk about the 5090 at some point. You should watch that. But I'm pretty sure I will be buying a 5090 using my own money, just so I can play with it. But yeah, this one is quite dirty. Got a little bit of dirt. Doesn't affect the performance of the thermal pads anyways. But we're gonna give it a good clean. And I hope I can do more of these repair videos. If you guys, you know, give me a lot of like buttons and actually gone through this video, because, you know, YouTube does give me a lot of analysis data on some of the YouTube videos I make, and they can tell how much people have engaged and how long you guys have been watching this. And if I do see, you know, you guys really enjoy this type of, you know, talk and fixed video, I'll make sure I'll try to break more things or buy more broken things to repair with you guys, and just talk life, you know what I mean? Talk stupid things. And you know, well, these cards are, the thermal paste is quite dry, definitely, but when I had it on my bench, it wasn't overheating or anything, so it's okay. One thing after using isopropyl alcohol, or at least through paper towel, is make sure just give it a nice blow so there's no residue on the chip. And yeah, we're ready to repaste. But before we do that, I gotta do the fan. So yeah, I mean, I guess I'm getting more and more comfortable talking on at least by myself on screen, or at least, you know, not showing my face but talk to myself. And to be honest, if you guys are watching this and still watching this, man, you guys are great. Because I don't think I will last this long with on my own video. Just talk about random crap. But well, this is the second card. And well, whoever ended up buying this card, they're definitely gonna get a peeling experience because the plastic wrapper is still there. I'm not gonna peel that off. I don't really care. I just wanted to test these cards, or just test one of these cards. Actually, speaking of which, is Crossfire still a thing? Please comment. Please comment if you think Crossfire is still a thing. Because I have never heard any YouTubers for the last 5 years have ever talked about Crossfire. Because I don't think I ever played with Crossfire. Oh no, I did. What was the card? It was back in the day. It was like 6-750 or something like that, or I can't remember exactly what card. This is definitely like 10 years ago when I played with it. And I also played with this SLI, and they're just honestly garbage. I don't know. It's just one of those things. It's like in nostalgia, you know what I mean? Like if it has SLI, it's gonna be awesome. To be honest, not really. It's a stuttery mess for most of the time I played it. What I was playing, can't remember, but I really don't enjoy playing a lot of single player games. I really like to play multiplayer games. I was into WoW for like 10 years back in the day when it started from Burning Crusade, and I have hundreds and hundreds playing days, not hours, days on WoW. But then I got tired of it because it feels like it was like a second job. Because every day you'll have to do these dailies. Oh man, what happened to this guy? Oh, got a little clip kind of chipped off here. I'll show you guys. It's no fault of my own. It just chipped right off all by itself. This one right here. See that bit? Yeah. I just chipped off there. Well, it's fine. It's not important. It's only a cover. And you can pop it back in, no problem. So, let's talk about my experience with RMA in particular again. The last company I had to deal with RMA is MSI. And because it's so, I would say fresh, but I mean it was quite recent. It was MSI Canada in particular, so really if you're from other countries like United States or Australia or Asian countries or Europe, your experience might vary, but I found them pretty good. I had an older motherboard that I bought it from local retailer, and it was towards the end of that particular I say chipset, its life, and it was on sort of last bit of sale, or last kind of the last leg of that particular chipset, and I bought it because I kind of needed it at the time, or I was kind of I wanted to experience new things, and I bought it. And yeah, garbage fans, don't buy it. Like these fans, I don't know. Don't, if you see these fans as replacement fans, don't buy these. They're horrible. So I can't focus anymore. There we go. There we go. Anyways, garbage. To the bin. Yeah, I mean, it's quite a nice experience. I was pleasantly surprised how they treat me. At least I thought I had a great experience with them. I mean, there might be a mistake to Gamers Nexus about his warranty issues with Asus, and I think a lot of companies had learned a lot from that entire ordeal with Asus. But anyways, the MSI rep was so the motherboard I purchased wasn't available to replace, so they opt me to, you know, get a free, I suppose a free upgrade to the next chipset. I mean, it was kind of nice, but at the same time it's kind of annoying, because then I have to get a brand new CPU, new RAM, because it's going from DDR4 to DDR5. I have to find ways to sell my old computer hardware. But yeah, it's kind of unfortunate. But then again, I mean, they opt me for a kind of a free upgrade, suppose. Which is okay. I mean, the board they gave me was also a RMA board, so it wasn't a retail board. So I'm pretty sure they didn't lose much on that particular trade. But it was just kind of nice, you know what I mean? At least they did something. But I remember when I had an RMA with a Gigabyte, and the Gigabyte, at least their repair center actually repaired the item, but it took so long for them to repair. I'm like, why don't you just give me a replacement for the time being? Like, just give me something, right? Like it was about 2 or 3 months I was going without a graphics card. That was annoying. And also that was Gigabyte Canada. But then again, they end up repairing the card, so I was like, you know what? At least they repaired it, and it wasn't like EVGA where they just kind of like, you know, give you the big middle finger and be like, no, right? At least they repaired it, which is good. And yeah, that just kind of sucks, you know. Like, I'm like, after that whole EVGA ordeal, my expectation for a lot of these RMA requests are just like down under, you know, down non-existent. And it's just like, if you give me anything, I'm happy. Freaking, if I give you a 30, I don't know, like it's 40 series now. I do have a 4070, but if I give you a 4070, and if you don't have a replacement or you can't repair that for me, like just give me a 4060 or something. At least I have something to use. You know what I mean? Don't deny it. And I know very well why they denied my 3090 request, because they weren't making those cards anymore. They weren't making graphics cards anymore. Their RMA supply, it's like probably down to non-existent. You know what I mean? Like, they don't have a supply of cards, and they probably don't even have a repair center for those things anymore. They probably fired all those guys. You know, like, you know, they got rid of their front doorman Kingpin. So really, they really don't even. I don't think they even care about their reputation at that point. They just say, forget it. Dunzo, goodbye. Like, that is kind of my 2 cents about EVGA and their 30 series cards. And I'm pretty sure the last bit of 30 series cards are coming end of warranty periods now. I think maybe another half a year or a year. They should definitely all run out unless people bought like their idiotic 10-year extended warranty. Then they'll probably will need to have a decent supply of those cards for those type of warranty. But yeah, I just don't think EVGA is gonna like come back from this, because they'll probably burn a lot of bridges by doing that. Not only they burn the bridge with you know, their consumers, their suppliers, their technicians, or at least their front facing, you know, man, kingpin. And it just feels like they're just like they really didn't leave anything behind. It's just like, forget it. And what are they selling right now? Power supplies, rebranded power supplies, I guess. What else they're making? Well, not making, but what else they're selling, I suppose. It's all gonna be rebranded stuff. So we got power supplies. I had EVGA keyboards. They're like, I was a EVGA fanboy by any stretch of imagination. I have EVGA power supplies. I had EVGA mouse and keyboard. I have the only thing I didn't have was the EVGA motherboard, because I just didn't like some of the layouts and just kind of the price on that point. But I almost had EVGA everything. I have from their gold power supplies to all the way up to their, you know, titanium power supplies. Throughout the years, I mean, I'm not like, and I was definitely an EVGA fanboy. They did definitely burn the bridge when they stopped making graphics cards, because they just don't care anymore. When a company don't care, that's what happened. I do get it. I mean, NVIDIA definitely not. I wouldn't even 100% blame this on EVGA, but I'm pretty sure NVIDIA wasn't nice to NVIDIA or to any of the board partners either, because it probably leaves them a very thin profit margin to deal with. But with any stretch of imagination is the fact that, like, I don't think when you know, NVIDIA was releasing a lot of their back in the 30 series anyways, releasing the chip design or anything like that, I think they're kind of didn't give their AIB partner enough time to develop and test their product. And I think a lot of companies, including EVGA, has really bite the bullet on quality. I personally think, you know, I don't know about now, but at least in the 30 series anyways, I think there was a lot of issue with design and testing of the cards, and you could see a lot of problem with, you know, EVGA cards, you know, destroying themselves. I've seen a lot of just, you know, 3080, 3090s, whatever, crashing, and I just think it was just one of those things. It's like, I don't think NVIDIA was playing nice to their AIB partners. They kind of left them in dead water. But then again, I mean, I think EVGA has really, in a way, tried to push too much on their card design. I think they went too above beyond from. They're trying to one up all the other AIB partners, I think. Just because I think the shoot, this cable is too short. Well, we'll have to give it a little slack. I think EVGA, I really miss their product, but at the same time, it really left a bitter in my mouth. So today, if I were rank graphics card manufacturer in terms like build quality, and I don't even talk about performance, just build quality in general. And I haven't seen the 50 series. I haven't actually hold the 50 series. I only seen the videos and just kind of see other YouTubers, and a little bit jealous of them being in CS, able to touch and see all these new graphics cards. But in terms of my kind of guesstimate and kind of looking at the historical records of a lot of these graphics cards these companies build nowadays, I'll rank them as follow. And obviously it could be a little bit of fanboyism here and there, but I'll rank the quality by Asus on the top, and in terms of like motherboards and just graphics cards, I guess. I was trying to include ASRock, but ASRock doesn't make any of NVIDIA cards, so we'll just talk about NVIDIA manufacturers. So in terms of my own personal experience, I think Asus would be on top for the NVIDIA cards and their design. Second to that, in terms of like quality, like a lot of times I'm talking about quality are just fans, to be honest. Like, I'm not expecting any electrical component to fail on these graphics cards, not for years. Like, for crying out loud, that EVGA 4650, the GTX 4650, it lasted almost 20 years. Until, I give it to obviously that card was used by my dad and on his old ass computer, and he's still unwilling to spend the money to upgrade. But it's okay, he only uses it to watch YouTube, any potato out there can watch YouTube. Electronically, I don't think any of these graphics cards should fail throughout these in its usable lifetime, I would say, because there's no moving parts or anything. I mean, that EVGA blower fan I had on it, and back in the day when you don't even have like these 0 dB crap, that blower has been on for over 15 years. I can't even remember how long. Like, I bought that card when Linus was still working at NCX. I still remember when I first met him, and the Markham, like the Canadian Markham store, when it first opened up. I walked in, I was a little bit starstruck, to be honest. And I walked in here watching him set up a iInfinity setup at the store. I'm like, cool, dude. That was a cool setup. And that was it. I mean, and that's back in the day, he's not even that this big. You know what I mean? Like, he just got on what, Jimmy Fallon. It's a little bit cringy when he was talking, and just because I think he was super nervous. I would definitely be nervous too. Nobody should not be nervous when they're on real TV. But you know, watching him grow his channel throughout the years, and watching me still struggling to feed my family, and I think, you know, I might as well try the YouTube thing myself, see how it goes. Metal. What? Okay, never mind. I don't know why this thing was stuck there for some reason. Anyways, yeah, I was starstruck when I first met him. You know, only talked to him for like, you know, 30 seconds or about, you know, a minute at most. You know, still at the time, I was young and he was young, and yeah, it was kind of cool to meet him. And I don't think I actually tightened down the screw properly. So one thing about assembling these things is to actually check your work. Sometimes you just look at the back and just touch where all the screws went. That will help you to see if you actually tighten down enough. Because sometimes just because of how the fans were, or how your screws was tightened, it might be kind of crooked or be cross-threaded. So just verify your work when you're doing this. So these cards go in that way, so that should flip this way. And then we'll have these screws to pop in. Yeah, once you figure out the trick how to disconnect the connectors, it's actually pretty quick now to disassemble these graphics cards. Holy crap, if somebody was still watching this, holy crap. I don't know, man. I'll give you a super chat or something if you're still watching this. Damn. How about this? I'll say a number right now. From 1 to 1,000. And if you actually stay this long and hear what I said, please comment in the chat so I can give you a thumbs up. Let's just say 489. If you comment that, I'll definitely give you a thumbs up on this. God, you guys are the best. If you do go listen to this video for this long. Anyways, we're gonna wrap it up here. Put a little bit of thermal paste on top. A little bit too much is fine. These are non-conductive. They do stink a little bit, but you know, your sense of smell might vary from mine. So, you know, something I might smell, you might not, or vice versa. So, like I do before, I flip them this way and try to line it down. I don't know what this title should be. I don't know. I talk too much. I'm gonna randomly, or not randomly, I'm gonna find a new title. Or at least a more practical title for this. And if you guys think I need to change my title to something else, please also comment below, and I'll change it. I'll change it if it's very, very good. But for now, I just want to get this video card fixed and done with. So I'm gonna kind of torque them down a little bit. All right, give it a nice little tuck. Yeah. Anyways, last bit of just my kind of personal kind of question. I don't know if how many people is gonna watch this. Maybe 12, maybe 13, maybe 1,000, maybe 1, maybe 2. But if anybody know what happened to tech deals and what happened to them, I kind of miss them, because I actually learned a few things from these guys and from that guy. And he does live streams all the time, talk about crypto mining when it's still hot. I mean, it was good. It was good info, and really enjoyed what he had talked. But whatever happens to them, I think this fan is down. Anyways, they spin okay. Anyways, I have completed the fix of these video cards, and if you've gone through this far, please subscribe, press the like button, and comment below what I need to make, what sort of topic you guys wanted to listen or want me to talk about next. And you guys have a great day. All right. Well, see you next time. Bye.